Hey, Tony.
Shut up, Greg. RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in IT professional temp to hire positions. Just go to RobertsTechJobs.com for more information. We are also brought to you tonight by Hanover Fist Racing. Terry Adams, thank you for all that you do for the league with all the practice sessions that you put up and all of that which you put up with, as well as David Llewellyn, DHL Express. David, thank you for the same things I just thanked Terry for. And we are also brought to you by Convergent Composites. Robert Lacavara, thank you. Joining me in the booth tonight, Mr. Mark Vega, Mr. Greg Napier, and Mr. John Napier. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing good, Tony.
Same.
All right, so qualifying, getting ready to get underway here. Currently, and I just lost what's little left of my sanity. Tristan Anderson going quick time, 24,194, sitting at the top of the board right now.
And as usual, we see David Llewellyn at the top. That's no surprise.
David Llewellyn at the top of the leaderboard is usually not a surprise. So talk to me tonight about this setup. Mark, John, I know you guys have both driven this in practice races earlier in the week. What can we expect to see tonight here at Kentucky?
A whole lot of arrow push. If you're behind somebody, this thing tries to get into the wall really bad.
Yeah, the bottom line tends to eat up your tires. It's fast around the bottom, but will eat your tires up.
And I was just going to say, for one of the first times since we started the season, we'll see people pitting for tires before they pit for fuel.
Okay, fair enough. Something to keep an eye on. Still have a little over a minute left in qualifying. Couple big names still not have gone out yet. David Llewellyn currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard, 118. Dave Swindoll currently sits outside the front row, 24,172. Let's see. Still just over a minute left. A couple names still out there making laps. Looks like we've got a relatively small field for the league. It's one of the smaller fields I've seen.
User left your channel.
Something I didn't expect to see, though, was the name that's going to be starting shotgun on the field right now as it currently sits.
User joined your channel.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No problem. Just about 30 seconds left in qualifying, and Gary Front Row Bauer is not going to live up to his nickname from the looks of it.
User left your channel.
Spoke a little too soon there.
And just as I say it, he sneaks one in. Oh, good golly. That's that old saying, don't count your chickens before they've hatched, something like that.
No, you know Gary's going to hatch.
Well, he just did, sitting outside front row, second quick. And that's going to do it for qualifying with David Llewellyn sitting... And I just completely lost everything. Why did I lose everything? There it goes. So we've got David Llewellyn sitting quick time, 118. Unofficial track record. Gary Bauer sits outside row number 1. Dave Swindell and Tristan Anderson going to make up row number 2. Scott Holmes, Ray Zirkett going to make up row number 3. Mark Holmes and Jay Anderson going to make up row number 4. And Bob Lacavara and Isaiah Dupree going to make up row number 5.
Tony, can you do me a favor and make John an admin? It says insufficient privileges for me.
I will do so momentarily, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Although I believe John already is an admin. He is.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yep. No problem. All right, so getting back to the starting order, Jay McClendon and Tyler Graff going to make up row number 6. Richard Zawalski and Justin Esty is going to make up row number 7. Row 8 is Johnny Antonucci and Richard Suddeth. Row 9 is going to be Terry Adams and Chris Hamilton. Mike Whitaker and looks like Josh Vincent are going to make up row number 5. Mike Whitaker, Josh Vincent, Alex Green, Kevin Paskowich, and not taking time tonight. So something to keep an eye on. Base car rolling off right now. Strength of field for this race currently 1556. 135 laps of scheduled distance, and like the guys were saying in the little pre-race there, this is probably going to be one of the first races we're going to see this season where somebody's going to have to take tires before they are going to be in desperate need of fuel. David Llewellyn and Gary Bauer bringing them down to the green flag. Leader has control of the field.
Green.
And we are clean and green.
We got contact already.
Do have some contact, but it looks like we're going to stay green from it.
Oh, people disappearing.
I see that. I just saw 4 of them go poof. Dave Swindoll is going to lead us around for lap number 1. Swindoll, Llewellyn, Bauer, Holmes, Anderson, Zerkett, Anderson, no relation by the way. Holmes, who is a relation, and Bob Lacavara and Isaiah Debris rounding out your top 10.
David Llewellyn trying to go on the outside.
Which is a little bit of a different move for David. He's normally one of the low-line heroes that we have in the league. As a matter of fact, we've actually nicknamed that the Llewellyn line. So trying to get it to work on the outside, a little different strategy.
Well, the outside here does work. So
I've got to commend the setup crew for the setups that they've come up with the past couple of weeks. They've been really strong setups, and the drivers have been raving happily about the setup for this car and the setup for the IRO 5 that we saw Tuesday night. As David Llewellyn looks to the inside, and Swindell slams the door. Generally, I would call it the usual suspects sitting at the front of the field with Dave Swindell, Dave Llewellyn, Gary Bauer, and Ray Zerkett, your top 4, who are actually starting to gap Scott Holmes.
Bauer just fell way back.
I'm thinking Gary might be saving his tires. He was playing some strategy Tuesday night. He did basically the same thing as we're getting into lap traffic already. Swindell and Llewellyn still running nose to tail, putting some big distance between themselves and Ray Zirkett. Half a second is the interval as Llewellyn looks to the real low side. Swindell able to keep it wound up on the high side, continues to lead. Llewellyn comes right back at him in turn one. Can he get the drive off of two? They're side by side down the back straightaway. Llewellyn and Swindell side by side as they haul off into turn number three. The high side able to keep it wound up just a little bit more. Llewellyn really cuts it down to try to get the short way around, and Swindell's going to continue to lead. 0.008 the interval to stripe that lap. Llewellyn gets his nose out in front. Swindell comes back on him on the high side. He's got a little bit of a push. Looks like Ray Zirkett has caught them, and he has. And David Llewellyn's going to lead that lap. .05 the interval that time across the stripe. Llewellyn able to get the clear, comes up in front of Swindell. Swindell comes back on him on the low side. Hell of a run going into three. Power move by Dave Swindell, not wanting to give up the lead that easily. And Llewellyn coming back on him in turn one. I gotta think that the way that these guys are running up front, they're just gonna beat the ever-loving bejesus out of their tires doing this.
I was just thinking the same thing, Tony.
Unfortunate circumstances for Jay Anderson. He's having connection issues. His ping's way high. He had to drop all the way to the back.
Tough break for Jay. We're going to stay with the battle for the lead right now. It's Llewellyn and Swindell just dicing it back and forth every lap. Looks like maybe Mr. Llewellyn has realized what's going to be going on with the tires here and backing it up just a little bit to let those things cool off. Running way up on the high side where the track should be a little bit cooler. Just letting Dave Swindell click off the laps for him. I'm going to try to save some fuel, save some tires, and realizing that there's still well over 100 laps left in this event. Dave Swindell, Dave Llewellyn, Ray Zirkett, Gary Bauer, I should say, Tristan Anderson, Scott Holmes, Isaiah Dupree, Mark Holmes, Jay McClendon, and Richard Sobrowski, your top 10. And we've got another pass for the lead. Llewellyn takes the low side going through 1 and 2, almost gets the clear. Decides wisely to let Swindell have the high side. Swindell had a hell of a run coming off of 2. Able to carry that momentum on the high side, and it's going to be Dave Llewellyn still at the stripe. .03 the difference.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Dave Swindell was the winner of the DW11 at Kentucky, wasn't he?
Greg, that's IRO5, and yes, he was. Swindell and Llewellyn continuing to show the way. Ray Zirkett right there within striking distance. Gary Bauer,
All right, man,
and we've got a caution. Let's see who got involved in that one. Looks like the bad luck kid himself, Alex Green, getting caught up in another one. Alex, it's early. What are you doing to me, kid? We're going to take a look at the replay here.
Kevin Paskowitz.
And you see KP in the... Oh! That looked like that may have been that lovely transmission glitch that we've been seeing. So we're going to follow along with Mr. KP himself, hauling off into turn 3. Let's watch what happens here. Interesting. Let's take a look at this lovely accident in half speed. I have no idea what that was. The transmission tunnel didn't get sucked in until he got touched. I didn't catch who did actually hit him, but that definitely did not look healthy.
I was watching in the cockpit, and it looked like he just oversteered it and lost control. Try to recorrect.
That's kind of what I saw too, but as he started to go to the right, you saw the front of the car go under the track surface, which was kind of bizarre, shall we say. Let's see, a lot of takers this time for at least tires. The 55 Sobrowski's going to stay out there 21 laps under on those tires. I don't know if I would have done that unless he's planning on just taking the point for the lead, the leading a lap and then pitting this time by. And it looks like that's what he was doing. Just taking it down to the... just going to take that point for leading the lap. And as we see the 95, that's going to be Richard Suddeth, who was, I believe, a lap down. Not going to take the wave around, going to take the tires this time. And that's going to hand the lead back over to Dave Swindell, who was able to beat David Llewellyn off pit road. "22 laps in the books currently as we're looks like we're at 2 to go right now. Well, from what I've seen so far, everybody seems to be giving each other plenty of room. Everybody seems to be playing the long game, as we like to call it. And, what's your take on the first part of the race, gentlemen?
Actually, I thought it was gonna be. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, never mind. I actually thought it was gonna be a little bit more cautions. They were actually running pretty clean.
Yes, I expected it to be much more eventful myself.
Well, I think we're all in agreement then that as the field starts to form up, that maybe everybody's starting to learn. So Dave Swindell, Dave Llewellyn, Ray Zerkett, Gary Bauer, Tristan Anderson, Scott Holmes, Isaiah Dupree, Mark Holmes, Jay McClendon, and Michael Whitaker are going to make up your top 10 as Pace Car takes him down the back straightaway with the lights out. coming through 1 and 2. As soon as the pace car clears the commitment cone, the field's going to be in Dave Swindoll's hands, and we'll see if he decides to turn and burn early or if he's going to wait all the way for the green. The pace car is in, and he's holding them back, and
Green flag, green flag.
green flag comes out, and we are clean and green. Looks like Gary Bauer trying to get David Llewellyn to get something working on the high side. Swindoll,
All right, man, caution is
and
out.
we are
Caution
back
is
under
out.
caution. Cautions breed cautions. Let's see who had fun this time. Looks like Jay Anderson may have been involved in it in some way. Let's see what took place as we are following Mr. Anderson there in the 18 K&N Filters car. Looks like the 95 of Richard Sudduth tries to make it 4 wide, and Anderson just ran out of room. Let's take a look at that again. Okay, let's back it up a little more. Here they are coming through 1 and 2. You see 59 of Johnny Antonucci on the inside. There's Sudduth in the Bojangles car on the outside, and just collects him. Got a run on the outside. I don't think Jay saw him. Right in that there's a small blind spot when you've got your mirrors set right. There's only a small blind spot, and unfortunately I think Jay may have found that blind spot. But I've been known to be wrong before. What did you guys see?
I'm inclined to agree with you there, Tony, because he just ran right into the back of him.
Well, it was Jay started to come up, and Richard was kind of already there. So, I mean, I'd have to chalk it up to a racing incident. I mean, I don't think there was any malicious intent there, but it just looked like Richard was in Jay's blind spot. Jay kind of had nowhere to go. So we are back under caution here, lap 26 of 135. Unfortunately, guys, I think we all jinxed us.
Yeah,
Well,
unfortunately. You know, cautions breed cautions.
I was about to say, as you said before, Tony, cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, but we also said that it was a relatively clean opening stint of the race, and yeah, now here we go. Let the games begin.
The more these cars spread out, the less cautious we're going to get. So
This is very true.
When they're all tight together right at the beginning, those first 5 to 10 laps, that's when we're at the highest risk for the cautions anyway.
Right, because you have guys getting runs that they probably normally wouldn't get. Fast lap of the race so far, Mr. Gary Bauer with a 24:023. Definitely draft aided on that one. Dave Swindoll, Ray Zerkett, Dave Llewellyn, Gary Bauer, Scott Holmes, Tristan Anderson, Mark Holmes, Isaiah Dupree, Mike Whitaker, and Jay McClendon rounding out your top 10. Terry Adams getting a peek towards the front of the field. Coming up from his starting position. Starting position is 17th, currently running 11th. Pace car turning the lights out as the field starts to form up 2 by 2. Dave Swindell is currently continuing to show the way. Still very early in the race, but we'll see what can happen here. If I'm not mistaken, Swindell's led more than half the laps run currently. Painfully slow with the pace car speed the way it is right now. From 220 to, well, they're only doing 60 miles an hour. That's got to feel like you could get out and push the car faster. As they come out of turn number 4, pace car getting ready to duck on off. Swindell waiting for the green flag again, it looks like.
Green flag, green flag.
And green flag is out, and we are back underway. The inside line getting a great jump. Ray Zirkett caught a little bit sleeping, and Dave Swindell goes for a
All right,
ride.
man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And Gary Bauer is hanging from the fence like a piñata. Let's see what the cause of that one was.
Swindell went down below the apron.
Is that what it was? He caught the apron? Oh, there. Let's watch the replay.
No, he just got loose.
There it is. That's all it takes. One tire below the apron, and you're on. Well, unfortunately for Gary Bauer, he's the one that went on Mr. Toad's wild ride there. Just one of them, one of them deals. Let's
That right
see.
there changes the entire dynamic of this race.
Absolutely. Let's see what Mr. Bauer saw. This is the in-car from him. And no, you're not seeing things that actually is the track in your helmet. Yep. Not a darn thing Gary could have done to change that outcome.
And Ray Zirkett decides to stay out.
David Llewellyn coming down pit road. Let's see who else we've got here. That's going to hand the race lead over to Ray Zirkett. Only got 10 laps on his tires, though, so it should be relatively all right. Richard Sobralski, it looks like he's staying out as well. And the rest of the entirety of the field is in the pits. And it looks like David Llewellyn's going to be the first one off pit road. Scott Hall's going to be right behind him.
It's 3 stalls they can only go through, correct?
3 in and 3 out, yes, sir. So total of 7. I stand corrected. It looks like Scott Holmes is going to be the first one off pit road. Tristan Anderson, David Llewellyn, Mark Holmes, Mike Whitaker, Isaiah Dupree, Jay Anderson, and Terry Adams moving into the top 10 for the first time tonight. And uh-oh, did he get busted for speeding again? Oh, good golly. David Llewellyn has the worst luck on pit stops. For some reason, he just cannot help but turn that pit road speed limiter off just a tick too early. Got caught speeding again. Ray Zirkett gonna be showing us the way here. Lap 32 in the books, coming around to start lap 33. I stand corrected. They're on 32 right now. Zerkit, Sobrowski, Holmes, Anderson, Holmes, Whitaker, Dupree, McClendon, Terry Adams, and Johnny Antonucci taking a peek into the top 10 for the first time tonight. I can't think of a better teacher I've ever met as far as racecraft and how to explain racecraft to somebody than I have Terry Adams in the 69 tonight.
Okay, I'm not gonna give Dave Swindell the EOL because he's actually at the back of the pack as it is.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Did he claim it though?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're good. This field's starting to form up 2 by 2. Ray Zerkit, Richard Sobrowski gonna be on the front row. Scott Holmes, Tristan Anderson, row 2. Mark Holmes going to be starting right behind his brother as Mike Whitaker in row 3. Isaiah Dupree, Jay McClendon going to make up row number 4. Terry Adams and Johnny Antonucci going to make up row number 5. As we've got to do something about Mike Whitaker's paint schemes. I feel like I'm on a bad acid trip every time I see one of his cars on the track.
I love Mike Whitaker's paint schemes.
Psychedelic.
They're very bright.
They are very bright, but it is kind of trippy when you're running around his car. So, but yeah,
Yes.
no.
Yes, they can. When you're driving with them, they can easily take your focus off the track. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Warning, may cause seizures.
Only when he's flipping.
What a pretty bird.
Pace car is in. Ray Zerkit in control of the field.
Green flag, green
And
flag.
for some reason, all our leaders seem to be waiting for that green flag to come out. We're back underway. Zerkit, Holmes, Sobrowski, Anderson, Holmes, Dupree, Whitaker, McClendon, Antonucci, and Adams, your top 10. Scott Holmes peeking his nose towards the front of the field. Gotta remember the heartbreak Scott had last week. He led quite a bit of that race and then just got taken out by somebody else's mess. You got to think he's got to be looking for redemption this week. As they go 3 wide for a second there down the back straightaway. Holmes with the line on the inside, a little bit nose out in front. And Zerkit able to keep it wound up on the top side.
That's what I was saying here earlier, Tonio. The top side here works.
Oh, yeah, it works. It works all right. That was one of those, you didn't know who was going to get it till they got to the line that time. Going to try it again. A little bit more of a run.
That was close.
.000 at the line. That's how close it was. Ray Zerkit still showing the way. Ray Zerkit, Scott Holmes, Richard Sobrowski, Tristan Anderson, Mark Holmes, Mike Whitaker, Jay McClendon, John Antonucci, Isaiah Dupree, and Justin Estes making his appearance in the top 10 tonight.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And Jay
And the
Anderson.
caution is wrong. I threw the caution.
Fair enough. We're going to ride along and see what happened to Jay Anderson there. Looks like they're getting ready to go 3 wide with Tyler Graff. I'm not even gonna speculate what I just saw. Other than maybe he just got it into the marbles and
Well, he said his screen went black, and it was my bad on the delayed caution. I was trying to find the button
that's okay.
and watching the replay at the same time.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as everybody's able to kind of drive away from it. A single car accident that time. It just looked like the car just didn't turn, but yeah, you're saying his screen went black. That would definitely explain why the car didn't turn. Ray Zirkit looks like he's staying out again? No, they're waiting on the pace car, I think. There it is. As they get to the back straightaway, Zirkit with 19 laps on his tires. Gotta think he might be ready to maybe get some fresh shoes for that horse. Sobralski sitting in third, 14 laps into a run. Just about the entirety of the rest of the field, 9 laps since the last time they saw pit road. Pit road's going to be open this time. Let's see if Mr. Zirkit decides to pit
with
the
19
car.
hard laps on those tires, he can't have much left, and he is going to stay out.
He's going to stay out, but Scott Holmes, who, I mind you, Tuesday night got an amazing fuel run going. I believe he took 30 laps, Mark, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm sorry, Tony, come back.
Scott Holmes. The other night, just 30 laps in between fuel stops.
Yes.
He did it twice. Running in traffic, I might add, but still was able to conserve fuel. It's going to take... let's see where we are here. Yep, Holmes is going to be the first one to come in, and then from Josh Vincent back, everybody came in. So Zirkit with 20 laps on his, Sobralski with 15 laps, Anderson, Whitaker, McClendon, Dupree, Adams, Lacavara, and Alex Green all with 10 laps into this current run. As we are turning lap 41 of 135. So everybody from Alex Green back going to be on fresh shoes. Interesting strategies already starting to rear their heads, right, boys? Lights go out on the pace car. Ray Zirkit, Richard Sobralski going to sit front row. Tristan Anderson, Mike Whitaker, row 2. Jay McClendon, Isaiah Dupree, row 3. Terry Adams and Alex Green going to be row 4. Bob Lacavara and Josh Vincent going to be row number 5. And 41 laps in the books out of the 135 scheduled. Greg, next time we get a caution, grab one of the top 10 who's in TeamSpeak and bring them down.
Okay.
Ray Zirkit been getting some pretty decent starts so far tonight. Let's see if the outside line has anything for him this time. Pace car is in and holding him down a little bit, starting to pick up the pace. None of the leaders seem to be too anxious to get this back going tonight. Inside line getting a great jump. Ray Zerkett bringing Tristan Anderson with him. Zerkett, Anderson, Sobrowski, Whitaker, McClendon, Dupree, Adams, Green, Holmes, and Lacavara, your top 10.
Oh, one off the track. He saved it.
And we stay green.
Yep, Tyler Grass got loose.
Zerkett, Anderson, Whitaker, your top 3. Starting to put a little bit of a gap on Jay McClendon, 4th place. Whitaker, the crafty old veteran, trying to see where he can put his car and where he can't put his car right now. He can basically throw a blanket over the top 6.
Everyone in the back looking a little bit spread out.
Well, between 6th and 7th, you've got
User left your channel.
over a second. As Whitaker and Anderson go side by side for second, they're letting Ray Zerkett get some distance on him.
User joined your channel.
Zerkett, Whitaker, Anderson, Dupree, McClendon, Sobrowski, Green, Vincent, Adams, and Scott Holmes rounding out your top 10.
You know, the 2 drivers that we haven't really mentioned tonight that are awfully quiet is Bob Lacavera and Johnny Antonucci. Those are 2 we're going to need to watch for. I believe they're going to be up front soon.
Well, Johnny's been in the top 10 a couple of times, trying to keep his nose clean this early, and same with Bob. You know, 2 of the bad luck kids of the league. Another name we haven't mentioned too much tonight, Alex Green in the top 10 for the last, basically the last stint. Stayed out under that last caution, got into the top 10, and he stayed there pretty
All right, man,
comfortably
caution is out.
as we are
Caution is
back
out.
under caution. Looks like Dave Swindoll getting involved in that one again. Let's see what happened with him as we go to the replay. That's Swindoll on the high side in the Coors 17.
Dave Swindoll came down.
That's Johnny Antonucci on his inside. And there it goes.
User was moved to your channel.
And Michael Whitaker joins us in the booth.
Mike, Tony in the booth, you got me.
Yeah.
Heck of a run you got going up front. How much fun is it on older tires right now for you?
It's not bad. Towards the end of the run, it's getting a little slippery.
Fair enough, Mike. Fair enough. So what are your plans moving forward here if you want to share them with us?
Right now, I'm going to pick.
Fair enough. You got 20 on your skins right now. I can't say I blame you for wanting to get fresh shoes on that horse. We'll let you get back to it, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck with the rest of the race.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, Greg, now just put him back where you got him.
User was moved out of your channel.
Yep.
Thank you.
Like he took a book off the shelf.
Josh Vincent stays out.
Vincent's only got about 12 laps on this run, so he could be gambling. However, I think he just screwed Kevin Paskowicz. And yep, he did. KP was looking to get the wave around, and unfortunately Josh is going to deny him of that little fun. Looks like Ray Zirket's going to win the race off pit road there. 30 laps on that set of tires for Ray. Can you guys actually believe that? There's my sim racing app just going ape on me.
Ooh, and Dave Llewellyn spins out Bob Lacavera in pits.
And Josh Pitts.
Spun him out in the pits?
No, Josh Vincent came in.
I don't even see David Llewellyn near Bob Lacavera.
It's like Bob.
Oh, nope,
checked
there it
out.
is. I got you. Here we go here. There's Mr. Llewellyn, Mr. Lacavera. If we're watching the replay here as they're coming into pits. Looks like Bob slowed down a little more than David expected him to try to get to his stall. And Dave just touched him. Bob, one of our more cautious drivers, is almost at his pit stall too. Unfortunately. We're not on stream right now. Are you gonna EOL David? Mark,
I'm sorry.
are you gonna EOL David?
He disconnected. I was just explaining
Oh.
that to him.
Okay,
Sorry, bud.
fair enough. Ray Zirkin, Tristan Anderson sitting up front right now. Kevin Pasquich looks like he got the wave around that he was looking for. Nope, I stand corrected. He did have to pit the car. Almost bingo on fuel. So Ray Zirkit, Tristan Anderson going to be bringing him back to green. Isaiah Dupree, Mike Whitaker outside row number, or that's going to be row number 2. Jay McClendon, Richard Schabowski going to be row number 3. Alex Green, Scott Holmes, row 4. Terry Adams and Mark Holmes, row number 5. As the field works its way through turn number 3 here at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. I stand corrected. That was turn number 1. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. If I get ahead of myself more, I might actually meet myself coming and going. Now they're going through turn 3 here at Kentucky. There's the grass I was looking for. So Ray Zirkit going to be in charge of the field as soon as the pace car clears the commitment cone.
Pace car is off.
And we are back under green.
A few drivers did not go.
I see that.
Eight back just took off on them. Might have got caught sleeping.
Would you like to take a guess who the first car was to get caught sleeping?
It looks like Alex Green, ain't it?
Yes, it was Crash Green. And speaking of
All right,
crashes,
man, caution is out. Caution is out.
that was Tristan Anderson going on the wild ride there. Aha, that's what it was. Isaiah Dupree and Ray Zirkit getting tangled going through turns 1 and 2. Zirkit pushed up, and Dupree was just...
Yeah, they came up and met in the middle.
They met in the middle, and Isaiah Dupree came out for worse for wear for that one, but unfortunately Tristan Anderson was a victim of circumstance, had nowhere to go. Well, watch this again. Watch the Apple car in the middle of your screen just touches, and he slows down. Anderson has no time to react, and he's lucky that car didn't start breakdancing. I'll tell you that much. Already able to limp it back to the pits and get the fresh wings on it. And unfortunately, that's going to burn his one fast repair for the race. So from here on out, going to need to be a little on the careful side. Okay. Looks like Ray Zirkett not happy with the call on that one. Going to hand the lead over to Mike Whitaker. You know, I dare say that if you get one of Mike's cars going fast enough, it's got to almost act like camouflage.
What was that, Tony?
I said if you get one of Mike Whitaker's cars going fast enough, it's almost got to act like camouflage, and you'll never see it.
Well, you know, if you face the camera towards the signage on the wall, you can't see the car.
Fair enough. So Mike Whitaker going to show the way. Jay McClendon going to start outside row number 2 as they're getting ready to, I believe they're crossing for 59. Just crossed 58. Mark Vega, are you here?
Yeah, 10-4.
Is it safe to assume that we had a couple of people disconnect after that last call?
Ray Zirkett, he's still sitting in pits. I'm assuming he has no more fast repairs.
Aha. Okay, so he did get damage under that one. Okay. I saw the car disappear. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I'm watching him. He's still sitting in there for some reason. It didn't look like he got bad damage. It looked like Isaiah took the blunt of it, but...
The right side of his car was pretty beat up.
Okay. Okay. So that answers that question. I saw the car poof. That's why I figured I'd ask if he was upset with the call.
Oh, and Ray Zirkett did disconnect.
And there he goes. I don't think he was out of fast repairs, though, because he pretty clean all night. Greg, can you do me a huge favor? Go to the entry list and tell me how many incident points are next to Mr. Zirkett's name. Should only be, I believe, 4.
I cannot see incident points. It just gives you little dashes.
Then he does not have any incident points. That was a 0x. So I'm thinking that he might not have been happy with the call that was made as we're getting ready to go back under.
All Greg has is dashes for incidents in general. I am showing 4 for Ray Zirkett.
Okay, so he did have contact there. That was his first contact of the race, so he should have had a fast repair left. But we are getting ready to go back under green flag. Mike Whitaker gonna show the way with Jay McClendon sitting outside row number 1, Rich Zabrowski and Crash Green row 2, Scott Holmes, Terry Adams already up into row number 3. Pace car getting ready to duck on off.
Oh, Mr. Whitaker's up front.
Yes, he is. He got handed the lead after that last exchange happened.
And Alex
Green
in
flag,
the
green
second
flag.
row.
And Whitaker gets a hellacious jump, caught the field napping. Whitaker by 10 lengths as they haul off into turn number 1. Rich Zabrowski able to go with him. Jay McClendon just caught completely napping there. Whitaker, Zabrowski, McClendon Holmes, Green, the Holmes brothers. Johnny Antonucci into the top 10. Terry Adams running 8th. Gary Bauer back up into the top 10. And David Llewellyn now back up into the top 10.
Mr. Isaiah Dupree is our fastest lap holder with a 23.9.
That is all in the mail. Good grief. But up front, it's all psychedelic with Mike Whitaker showing the way. Psychedelic and camo showing the way right now. You gotta love iRacing.
And depending on how much you've had to drink, you can't tell which is which anyway.
Unfortunately for me, I'm sober tonight. So Mike Whitaker continues to show the way. Richard Sobrowski sits second, just stalking him. Jay McClendon looks like he's trying to cool his tires off a little bit. Shouldn't lollygag too much, Jay, because you got Scott Holmes and Mark Holmes right behind you. However, there is over a second difference between the Holmes brothers. Throw a blanket over the top 4, and then you're almost 2 seconds back to Mark Holmes. Gary Bauer sits 6th, David Llewellyn 7th, Alex Green 8th, Justin Estes 9th, Johnny Antonucci in 10th spot.
It's not going to be long, Tony, before we see Bauer and Llewellyn right back up there in the front.
I think you might be right, but they've got to get by Scott Holmes first. I mean, after the heartbreak of last week, you know Scott's looking for redemption.
True.
And Mike...
Go ahead, Tony.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like Scott Holmes is with his fastest lap, 23.947.
Fair enough. Mike Whitaker. Last time Mike saw Victory Lane was the season finale for the IRO 5 series that runs Tuesday nights last season at Daytona as
Car on the wall.
Richard Sobrowski tries to take the turn 2 wall with him. Wisely taking it down pit side. Gotta have damn that one. That even sounded like it hurt.
But I still need to point out how well he handled the car there.
Oh, absolutely. Didn't take anybody with him. You gotta give props where they're due. Nice job of driving, Richard. I mean, after the oops, but awesome job not taking anybody with you and doing the right thing. Whitaker, Holmes, McClendon, Bauer, Holmes, Llewellyn, Estes, Antonucci, Adams, and Green, your top 10. Coming by for lap. They're going to be crossing for 69 this time, and that's going to put 17 laps on this tire run. Got to wonder if we're going to get to see everybody's favorite green flag pit stops. Those are always fun. And Scott Holmes just stalking him. Just biding his time. Using the draft when he can. Gets a great run coming through 3 and 4. Whitaker gonna... And Alex Green eats the wall. And we've got a new leader, Scott Holmes, back up on point. Mike Whitaker just going to let him go real early in the race. Mike Whitaker always looking to play the long ball. Holmes, Whitaker, McClendon, Bauer, Llewellyn, Estes, Holmes, Antonucci, Adams, and that's going to put Tyler Graff up into the top 10. I gotta say, for what's on his car, that's tastefully done. As I'm looking at Scott Holmes's purple car.
Now you're making me have to look.
It's quite tastefully done. As Alex Green comes out of the pits, giving the leaders plenty of room to get around him. Only going to put him a couple laps down. Hopefully he can get back up on the lead lap with a couple of lucky dogs and a little bit of luck. Scott Holmes continuing to show the way, starting to gap Mike Whitaker now. And the two of them are over a second in front of Gary Bauer, who sits third. And in case you're wondering, that's what a second looks like. Because you saw Bauer just flash into the screen as they came down the back straightaway. Holmes, Whitaker, Bauer, Llewellyn, McClendon, Estes, Holmes, Antonucci, Adams, and Graff, your top 10. As we are fast approaching halfway. No, we're just past halfway. Would like to remind everybody that this broadcast is being brought to you by RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in IT temp to hire positions for IT professionals. For what they have to offer currently, please go to RobertsTechJobs.com and tell Bill that the ISL sent you. Also, the RobertsTechJobs.com challenge, which will consist of the Watkins Glen race, which will take place here in a couple of weeks. I believe we're 2 weeks out from that. So the Watkins Glen race, the first trip that we're going to make to Indy this season, which will be in just over a month. And the just recently announced Dover race, which will be the regular season finale for both series. If any driver in either series can win all three of those races in the same car, in the same series, receive a cash prize and a beautiful trophy. For information, check out our Facebook page at the IndyCar Speedway League on Facebook. Scott Holmes continues to show the way. Mike Whitaker, Gary Bauer, David Llewellyn, Jay McClendon, Justin Estes, Mark Holmes, John Antonucci, Terry Adams, and Tyler Graff, your top 10. And we have got to be getting very close to green flag stops. I'm showing the leaders with 26 laps on their tires. And just as I say it, Scott gets the death wiggle coming through 3 and 4. That lets Mike Whitaker close right up on him.
The driver that we haven't mentioned either is our very own Terry Adams. He's riding in 9th place and
absolutely
patiently waiting.
That's an excellent run for Mr. Adams. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we did have a driver's meeting pre-race that said that green flag stops were going to happen off of turn 3, were they not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they have to use the access road.
Oh boy, here comes the fun, kids. As we are now 28 laps. Mike Whitaker going to be the first one to take it down pit road. And looks like Gary Bauer, the only one not going down pit road. That's going to hand Bauer the lead. We're going to stay with the pit road kids and see what's going on here. Everybody gets it woed down. Doesn't look like anybody got clobbered. That's going to hand the lead over to Gary Bauer. Bauer get the bonus point, the desperately needed bonus point, as Bauer takes it down the access road.
And there's a
All
caution.
right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, very, very timely caution. Let's see what happens with Bauer here if he comes back out on the track. And looks like he does miss both commitment cones.
95 took out the 7. Kevin Paskowitz still with the bad luck.
Oh, come on. That's not even funny anymore. 95 just gets sideways. Oh, my goodness. Thank God this is a simulation. Let's back that up a little more. We're going to ride along with 95 and Sutter just to see what he does here. Looks like he may have caught the apron. Yep, there it is. Catches the apron through 1 and 2 and just annihilates Kevin Paskowitz. Oh, my Lanta. That was... We're going to ride along with Kevin and see what he saw there. So here we are riding along with Kevin. He's coming up on, there's the 95 in front of him. 95 is going to go low. Kevin's going to keep it wound up on the high side. And there you see him start to get a little sideways and snaps to you by.
And Gary Bauer out of fuel.
Well, he was pushing it. He was definitely trying to stretch that tank. Oh yeah. When the caution came out, you could hear it spitting. When the caution came out, you could hear Gary's car start to spit. So, unfortunately. And that's going to hand the lead over to Tyler Graff, who is going to be gracious enough to give Crash Green the wave around. And that's going to hand the lead back over. Wow, okay. Scott Holmes, Mike Whitaker, David Llewellyn, Johnny Antonucci, Mark Holmes, Justin Estes, Terry Adams, and Bob Lacavara all getting caught because of that caution. All in desperate need of the wave around right now. Alex Green going to take the wave around. So that's going to put him back on the lead lap. So currently your leader is Isaiah Dupree all the way back there. As soon as we get the one to go, everybody in front of him is, at least should, if everything goes according to plan, everybody from Mark Holmes forward should get waved back around. They got caught right on the tail end of the lead lap when that caution came out. Everybody was starting to green flag pit. Worst timing ever. And there they go. Wave arounds are going. So Isaiah Dupree, Jay McClendon going to be row 1. Tyler Graff and Tristan Anderson going to be row 2. Josh Vincent, Scott Holmes, row 3. Mike Whitaker and David Llewellyn, row 4. John Antonucci and Mark Holmes going to be row 5. And pace car is in.
Green flag.
And we are back underway.
Pretty good start.
I got to give Jay some credit. Isaiah waited for the green, and Jay reacted to that green flag a little bit better. And Dupree is... am I the only one seeing Dupree warp all over the place?
Yeah, Dupree's been blinking for a lot of the race.
Okay, so far up to 14 blinks. If somebody could check his ping and quality, that would be awesome. As Tyler Graff goes to the inside of Jay McClendon, Tristan Anderson goes with him. Anderson, good to see him back up towards the front after that just hellacious hit he took earlier.
I see a 66 ping for Isaiah Dupree.
What's his quality?
99.
Okay. Jay McClendon dropping back like a stone right now. As he's fallen back into the clutches of... That looks like... What on
All right, man.
earth?
Caution is out.
Gary
Caution is
Bauer
out.
gets taken out again.
It looks like Gary went 3 wide.
Yes, but why were they 3 wide? Who was that other car? Justin Estes getting involved in that one. We're going to back that up a little bit. Let's try that again. Let's see what the slow-mo shows. Here we are riding along with Justin as they haul off into turn number 3. Gary Bauer has the run on the inside. They're side by side. Gentlemen, that looked like 100% net code to me. So, lap 90.
It looks like Justin got loose.
Watch it. If you want to watch the stream, I can show you it because I'm watching it in half speed right now. Between Justin and Gary, I could fit my fat ass between those 2 cars.
Yeah, I see net code.
There was...
Yeah.
You could have ridden a motorcycle between those 2 cars.
Yeah, net code.
100% net code there. So that would be lap 90, I believe. Or roughly thereabouts. So Tyler Graff's going to show the way. Alex Green got to be getting ready to pit soon here. Got his lap back. 20 laps on those horseshoes. Tyler Graff, Isaiah Dupree, Tristan Anderson, Mike Whitaker back up towards the front. Josh Vincent, David Llewellyn, Mark Holmes, John Antonucci, Scott Holmes, Alex Green, Bob Lacavara, and Terry Adams, your top 12. So we're not going to bring... I'm thinking we're not going to bring too many guys down into the booth right now. But to be a fly on the wall up in the main team speak to hear what Justin and Gary are talking about. But Greg, if you want to go ahead and bring Mr. Terry Adams down, I'm more than happy to talk to him.
I have no problems doing that.
Okay, and just go ahead and bring him down. So we'll be joined momentarily.
User was moved to
And
your
Terry
channel.
Adams joins us in the booth.
Terry, Tony, you got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, quietly stalking a top 10 tonight, sir. I gotta give you credit.
Just trying to watch the skirmishes and keep myself kind of in the middle of it all. Or not in the middle, but you know what I'm saying, just outside the edge of it.
Striking distance, but safe.
There you go.
All right, well, congratulations so far. Keep up the good work, and Best of luck in the rest of the race, Terry.
Secret's duck and cover. Have a good one, guys.
You too, Terry.
Yep, have a good race.
Terry Adams, ladies and gentlemen, one of our league sponsors, owner of Hanover Fist Racing, puts up a ton of practice rooms for the league all throughout the week. Also, one of the best racecraft teachers I have
User
ever
was moved
met.
out of your channel.
So we've got Tyler Graff and Isaiah Dupree bringing the field back down. Pace car getting ready to duck on off. Graff, Dupree, Anderson, Whitaker, Vincent, Llewellyn, Holmes, Antonucci, Holmes, and Green, your top 10.
Pace car drops in.
And Tyler Graff
flag,
drops the
green flag.
hammer, getting about 10 car lengths on Isaiah Dupree, who currently sits second side by side with Tristan Anderson. So we're going to watch that battle right there. Dupree dropping like a stone on the outside. And they've caught Tyler Graff. The draft definitely working for the group on the high side there. As Anderson makes the power move through the tri-oval. Your new leader, Tristan Anderson, Tyler Graff trying to get it back, desperately clawing. Graff's got his teammate right behind him with Josh Vincent. Vincent looking on the inside of his own teammate, hanging him out to dry. Anderson, Graff, Vincent, Whitaker, Llewellyn, Mark Holmes, John Antonucci, Scott Holmes, Isaiah Dupree, and Alex Green. Alex Green moving up into 9th now.
Contact.
And we go 3 wide down the back straightaway. Stay clean and green. Vincent and Graff side by side. Gotta be burning up those tires right now as they're 13 laps into the run. David Llewellyn with 16 on his. Gets his nose just about chopped off. Uses the middle to his advantage for that super draft that for some reason the computer gives you. Llewellyn lets it run high as he tries to get a run on Vincent. And Vincent does the crossover on Graff. Graff gets a little squirrely, and Llewellyn has nowhere to go.
Caution is out.
Just clobbers Josh Vincent. Let's see what the replay looked like there. Here they are coming down the back straightaway. And looks like Vincent might have gotten a little loose too.
To me, on my view, 13 went to the top, pushed up into the 11.
Well, let's see what happened. Here we are following along here with the 13. There he is in the bottom lane. And just, yeah, it looked like part from column A, part from column B. David looked like he was trying to come down to avoid the 77 who was chasing the car completely up the track. No, David stayed in his lane. David definitely stayed in his lane on that one. But unfortunately, that might possibly do it for Mr. Llewellyn tonight. I don't know if he's already used his fast repair or not. Coming back out on the track, though. We'll have to see what happens.
Josh Vincent claimed it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I got to give the young man credit. Starting to come a long way there. Terry Adams got to be sweating bullets right now. 20 laps on that set of tires. Has the oldest set out there. And he's going to be bringing it pit side. Discretion being the better part of valor. Looks like Scott Holmes going to be following him. So we got Tristan Anderson, Tyler Grass, Mike Whitaker, Mark Holmes, who we haven't talked too much about tonight. Sitting in fourth. Johnny Antonucci having a great run in fifth. Josh Vincent currently sits sixth, though that might change. Isaiah Dupree, David Llewellyn, Alex Green, Terry Adams, Scott Holmes, Jay McClendon. That's going to be your lead lap cars. Bob Lacavara 1 lap down. Richard Sobrowski 3 laps down. Justin Estes and Gary Bauer minus 13. Kevin Paskowicz minus 23. Heartbreak for KP. Richard Sudduth minus 24. Ray Zirkett minus 45. Dave Swindell minus 54. And Jay Anderson minus 64. 34 laps left in this one, which means we are going to see one more pit stop.
David Llewellyn is our fast lap holder right now.
Not a big shocker there. David's usually fast wherever we go. As lights go out on the pace car, Tristan Anderson, Tyler Graff, row 1. Mike Whitaker and Mark Holmes, row 2. John Antonucci, Isaiah Dupree, row 3. David Llewellyn able to get that car fixed and back out with, looks like Alex Green in row 4. Terry Adams and Josh Vincent going to be row 5. Scott Holmes and Jay McClendon going to be row 6. That is your lead lap car count right there. 12 cars remaining on the lead lap. Everybody else two or worse behind. And you got to be knowing Mark Holmes.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are
And
not
apparently
going
the
green.
field was not formed up the way of race control wanted it. So, like I was starting to say, you know Mark Holmes is going to want to join his brother as being qualified for the chase in this series. And that's Mark there in the 199 Dark Side of the Moon car. So I got to ask you guys, speaking of Dark Side of the Moon, have you tried to sync that up with the Wizard of Oz? Or
Can't say that I have. That was random there, Tony.
just
Yeah, it was.
figured I would. Glad I could make Mark choke on whatever he's drinking tonight. That's what you.
really had to think about that for a
That's
second.
that's what you get for throwing another caution, you bastard.
Oh,
So-
I'm sorry. I threw the caution for Isaiah
Isaiah
Dupree
Dupree.
was blinking.
Fair enough.
He disappeared for over half the track, so
Fair enough. So Tristan Anderson, Tyler Graff going to be bringing them back to green. Well, Tristan Anderson is anyways, as soon as the pace car clears the commitment cone. The field will be in Mr. Anderson's hands. And
Gonna drop down.
there goes, and Alex Green's starting to blink, and there goes Anderson.
Green flag, green flag.
Looks like Whitaker might have gotten a good jump on Graff. Going to move up into the number 2 slot. That outside front row has got to be one of the hardest places to restart from. Tristan Anderson showing the way. Mike Whitaker trying to get a power move as they come through the tri-oval. And Whitaker's going to get it by .001. Whitaker, Anderson, Graff, Antonucci, Green, Mark Holmes, David Llewellyn, Terry Adams, and Josh Vincent, and Jay McClendon, your top 10. Mike Whitaker doing something not too commonly seen out of him, and that is run a low line through a corner. Normally he likes to run that second groove to try to save his tires. Skates it way up the track there, trying to keep it wound right up on the high side. We've got a new leader. Tristan Anderson leads across the stripe that time. .009 that time across the stripe. Anderson shows the way. Whitaker, Graff, Antonucci, Green, Llewellyn, Adams, Holmes, Vincent, McClendon, Holmes, and Dupree, your top 12. Mike Whitaker's got to be saving his tires right now. Or not.
We are coming down to 25 to go, so we should be looking to see people make some moves.
Well, it's going to be who wants it the worst. Do you short pit now, or do you do a splash and go later and hope that you don't kill yourself coming out of the pits? Provided we stay green, that is. Anderson, Whitaker, Graff, Antonucci, Green, Llewellyn, Adams, Holmes, Vincent, McClendon, Holmes, and Dupree. Those are your lead lap cars.
Tony, where do our leaders stand on fuel/tires? Are they all even?
Your top 12 are basically on the same lap. Jay McClendon's only 8 laps in. Scott Holmes is only 8 laps in. Everybody else is 11 laps in. So
this is going to come down to strategy.
I'm just hoping it stays green. That's my biggest hope right now, is because if this thing stays green, it's going to shake this field up, and who can get on and off pit road the best is what's going to determine who's going to win this thing. Looks like Mike Whitaker's saying damn the torpedoes. He's going to take tires whenever he has to stop next. And some of the moves he's making, not normally seen out of Mike Whitaker. Good to see him really battling for the lead right now as he sits in second, just stalking Tristan Anderson. Anderson leading yet another lap. It's going to be a race right now to see who's going to lead the most laps of this race. Anderson's throwing his hat into the ring for that one. Anderson, Whitaker, Graff, Llewellyn, Antonucci, Adams, Green, Vincent, McClendon, and Scott Holmes moving up into the top 10. as we're crossing for lap 116.
20 laps to go.
To go. Anderson shows the way. Whitaker just stalking him. David Llewellyn within striking distance.
Well, I just got one word to say. When the drivers' meeting comes up, I'm going to be at Tony.
Okay, so that means I have to go quickly set up another stream before the drivers' meeting, because I want this one on tape. And they're into the lap traffic already. Mark Holmes got to be having trouble. Tristan Anderson gets sideways. That's going to hand the lead over.
Contact.
All right, man. Caution is
What
out. Caution is
on
out.
earth just happened?
Caution is out.
Well, that changes everything.
Absolutely. We're going to ride along here following the camera with Mr. Whitaker. They went 4 wide for a second there. And David Llewellyn just clobbered him. No idea why, but he did. And yet again, Mike Whitaker caught up in someone else's mess. This means we're going to have roughly a 15-lap shootout when we go back to green. Well, it'd be a little less than that. If I was everybody in the field right now, I'd be going down pit road.
Oh my Jesus, dare I say it? Johnny Antonucci, top 3.
And I'm going to let him punch you right in the dick if you just jinxed him. I'm going to buy him a plane ticket to you and a cab ride to your house just so he can punch you right in the dick.
I'm inclined to agree with Tony on that one.
First rule of racing, Greg, is you never say it. You can think it, just don't ever let the words come out of your mouth.
It's like when you're on duty at the fire department, Tony. You never.
Jeez, it sure is quiet around here.
Nope, never utter those
There
words.
go tones. Jeez, we haven't had an alcohol poisoning and we're 2 weeks into the semester. Yeah, and there go the tones. You got 4 in one building, 5 in another building, and 2 frat houses just called in.
That's it. God, it's slow today.
Okay, so apparently Greg's getting his ass kicked by his mom now for jinxing John Antonucci. Thanks, Mom. Tristan Anderson gonna go back up on point. And he had to have been sweating bullets there because that car just got hella loose on him. Able to stay out of the quote mess. John Antonucci, Terry Adams into the top 5. Josh Vincent currently sits 5th. David Llewellyn back out there. Hey guys, I got the stream muted. Are you guys making a call on Llewellyn for that last caution?
No, it was a racing incident. The lap car should have stayed higher. He wiggled down on him.
Fair enough. I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go, unfortunately.
All right, so David Llewellyn sits 6th, Mike Whitaker 7th, Alex Green into the top 10, sitting 8th. Jay McClendon sits 9th. Scott Holmes currently sits 10th. Isaiah Dupree 11th. Mark Holmes 12th. Those are your lead lap cars. Bob Lacavara currently sits 1 lap down as we are getting ready to go back to green and be 14 to go. And it is definitely go time.
All the pits are done, Tony.
Everybody had their money stop, and the moneyest of the money stops that time is going to go to... Where are we? Terry Adams, 6.2 seconds. So Terry Adams' team definitely getting the money stop done there, putting him in the top 5. Lights are going out on the pace car field, starting to form up 2 by 2. Tristan Anderson, Tyler Graff, John Antonucci, Terry Adams, David Llewellyn, Josh Vincent, Mike Whitaker, Alex Green, Jay McClendon, Scott Holmes, Isaiah Dupree, and Mark Holmes. Whitaker's got to be on a mission now. Was quietly stalking in second place. I feel sorry for anybody that's in front of him. Because when it's time to go, Whitaker knows how to drop the hammer. And
I was going to say, this is Mike Whitaker we're talking about. I mean, don't count him out of a win.
Unless he's starting near where he's starting, because if you look, he's starting right next to Crash Green. We'll start calling him Knuckles. Knuckles Green.
Only one incident. Mr. Green hit the wall and saved it himself. Really, it was avoiding all the wrecks this race. That's impressive.
No, he had something else going on earlier. I remember him spinning the second time as the green flag comes back out. Tristan Anderson drops the hammer. Johnny Antonucci up into second. Gets a great jump. Tyler Graff caught sleeping again. Anderson, Antonucci, Graff, Vincent, Llewellyn, Green, Whitaker, McClendon, Adams, and Scott Holmes rounding out your top 10. Antonucci just looking like he wants to hold on for a top 5 finish, just letting him go. Tyler Graff on a charge right now. Tristan Anderson continues to show the way. 11 to go.
All right, man.
And they're wrecking in the back. Looks like Mike Whitaker was caught up in that one again. Good grief, this kid can't buy a break. Watching the replay here, following David Llewellyn. Llewellyn goes to the high side of Alex Green. That's what it was.
And David Llewellyn has manually disconnected.
He was out of fast repairs. So here we are coming down the back straightaway. Llewellyn looking on the outside. Green just pinches him up into the wall. And all hell breaks loose behind him. Terry Adams caught up in that. Scott Holmes caught up in that. No, Scott Holmes got through that. No, he didn't. Bent wing. Terry Adams looking like he may have gotten involved in that one. Let's watch with Terry here. Yep, Terry just caught a car to the face.
I hate it when that happens.
Don't you, though? Unfortunately, Whitaker's used his last fast repair. So Scott Holmes getting caught up in that one. Alex Green looks like he might have gotten through that unscathed.
Oh, and Jay McClendon disconnected. Must have been out of fast repairs.
Jay used his fast repair as well. Fields catching the pace car. Helps if I go back to live, doesn't it? So, from the looks of it, when we get back to green, we're going to have roughly a 5-lap dash for cash. So Tristan Anderson continuing to show the way. Definitely making a strong bid for most laps led in this event. And if you guys could take the helm for a second, I will be right back.
10-4. Gregory, you're up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Call the race, buddy. Call the race.
We got Tristan Anderson and Tyler Graff, row 1, Johnny Antonucci, Josh Vincent, row 2, Scott Holmes, Terry Adams, row 3, Isaiah Dupree, Mark Holmes, row 5. Getting ready to come to the green flag right now.
Now this is like Tony said, dash for cash, so it's gonna be one interesting start.
Yep, this is, you got 5 laps for all the marbles here.
5 laps for all the marbles, and looks like we got a little gamesmanship going on up in the front. Looks like the front row is starting to text us to the start, or at least attempting to. Pace car is in, Fields at 60, and they're picking up the hammer. Here we go.
Green flag.
Graff cuts off Antonucci. Anderson showing the way. Graff sits second, Antonucci third. Vincent fourth. Scott Holmes fifth. Dupree second, or Dupree sixth. Terry Adams in seventh as Tyler Graff making a power move on the inside. 10 laps on those tires. I don't think that's going to stick, kid. As we are within 5 laps to go.
Johnny Antonucci makes his move.
Antonucci making his bid.
And they're dooring each other.
And Graff just barely getting it in there.
Now Graff is pushing it a little bit. It's gonna cause a wreck throwing them blocks.
And yeah. And he's been warned before about that. Antonucci looks like he might have second. Yes, he does.
Tristan Anderson just driving away from everybody.
Oh, yeah, because of all the hard racing going on behind him. If they get in line, they could catch him. Here comes Scott Holmes. This race for second is probably the best we've seen all night. Yes, that was Anderson you saw way up in the back, or way up in the foreground there, folks. Tristan Anderson by over 1/10 of a second.
Johnson and Tanucci.
2 laps to go.
And Tanucci had to check up for the blocking.
Yep. And he hits the wall, and white flag is out, so this is it. Tristan Anderson gonna be your winner. It's academic. Anderson coming home first. Anderson, Josh Vincent for second. Looks like Tyler Graff for third unofficially. Scott Holmes for fourth. Mike Whitaker able to come back for fifth. Awesome comeback, Mr. Whitaker.
I want to point out, Tony, at this point, you owe Mr. Antonucci a plane ticket.
Yes, I do. Now I just have to figure out where I'm going to come up with the money. Oh, we'll just take it out of Greg's real life race car fund.
There we go.
So Tristan Anderson burning them down. Josh Vincent for second. Tyler Graff third. Tyler Graff third. Scott Holmes fourth. Mike Whitaker fifth. Alex Green sixth. John Antonucci able to hang on for seventh. And he gets to punch Greg Napier in the dick. Isaiah Dupree, Bob Lacavara, and Terry Adams rounding out your top 10. Nice quiet night for Mr. Adams there. Sure, there's going to be a lot of fireworks in the post-race drivers meeting. So on behalf of John and Greg Napier and Mr. Mark Vega, I'm Tony Trapasso. We will see you Tuesday night at Michigan International Speedway for the Dallara 2011 race.